Hello everyone, welcome to another session on introducing literature. Okay, so in this session we are going to start with this textbook. Okay, yes, introducing literature, and as I have told you in one of my previous videos, I'll be dealing with the module 3. Okay, so I'll start with the introduction part of the module, which is on page number 82. Okay, so I want all of you to have the textbook. If you don't have the textbook, I attach a photograph of this particular page which I am going to take in the Google Classroom. You can download it and you can read that, if the textbook is not there with you. So the first concept that we have to understand is the first line. Ideology. The ideology written into a text is the topic of discussion in this module. That's the first sentence. Okay, so what exactly we are discussing in this chapter? We are discussing about ideology written into a text. Okay, which means a text is in fact not offering us one single meaning. Clear with that? The meaning intended by the author. Now, the text cannot be confined to the meaning intended by the author. That is what I have referred to in one of my previous videos. Especially, I mentioned the name Roland Barthes. Okay, he wrote an article, Death of an Author. Like, once a person wrote a text, clear with that, author is dead. The rest is with whom? The rest is with the readers. Readers, depending upon their cultural context, their cultural differences, their cultural consciousness. Okay, they read, they interpret, and they understand the text in different ways. Clear with that? I hope I am clear. So here we are discussing about the multiple meanings that a text offers. Okay, so that is why it is said ideology written into a text. That is what we are discussing, which means, it is not the literal meaning of the words that are there in the text, rather it offers various other things. Okay, after one or two lines you can see literature is not straightforward and it does not convey direct meanings. It is not just about the literal meaning of the words that are there in the text. ഒരു ടെക്സ്റ്റ് വായിക്കുമ്പം അതിനകത്ത് എന്താ എഴുതിയേക്കുന്നത് അതിൻ്റെ ലിറ്ററൽ മീനിങ് മാത്രമല്ല, അതിന് അപ്പുറത്തേക്കും കുറച്ചും കൂടെ എന്തുണ്ട്, അർത്ഥതലങ്ങളുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് എക്സാക്ട്ലി ആർ ദി അതർ മീനിങ്സ് ദാറ്റ് ആർ ഗെറ്റിംഗ് റിഫ്ലെക്റ്റഡ് ഇൻ ദി ടെക്സ്റ്റ്. Okay, you can say it is the ideology. And what is ideology? That is what first thing that we have to understand. Ideology is basically a set of beliefs, or you can say philosophies, that are like attributed to a person or a group of people. Okay, there could be like social and philosophical ideologies, social and political ideologies. Clear with that? So ideology could be like a set of beliefs, and who all can frame those ideologies. There are so many contributors to the framing of an ideology. Religion is an ideology, literature is an ideology. That is what we are going to discuss in this chapter. Literature is in fact an ideology. This particular statement, like literature as an ideology, it is in fact discussed extensively by a Marxist critic by name Louis Althusser. Althusser, Louis Althusser. He has discussed extensively about literature as an ideology. The Marxist school in fact discusses it like that extensively about literature as an ideology. Literature as a state apparatus, an apparatus used by the state to reinforce their idea. You can understand. The best example is like Soviet Union at one point. Only those ideas that are in favor of communism, or you can say the communist regime in Russia or Soviet Union, only those literatures were favored by the state. So state was in fact using what? State was using literature as an apparatus. Okay, so literature is in fact an ideology. Each and every idea that is conveyed through literature has got a message to convey, and that message is not necessarily just of the author, could be the message of various other factors that are there in his milieu. When we talk about the word milieu, milieu, I mean the time and the place, especially the context of the writer. All these things can contribute to the ideas that are discussed in the textbook. Clear with that? So it is not just about the literal meanings of the words that are there in the textbook. Textbook usually talks more than that. Okay, coming into the same introduction in page number 82. It encourages them, literature, to read beyond the literal and enables them to perceive how literary cultural texts conceal, interrogate power, how they privilege and strengthen dominant groups and deprivilege and create marginalized groups, or how they document, critique or subvert existing power relations. This is what we are going to see in this particular chapter. We are trying to analyze a text, like what exactly are the power equations that we see in the text. You are getting it. Whose ideology is getting projected in a text. Okay, this is what we are going to say. I'll give you two examples. One is like a very simple example. All of you are very familiar with it. I have already told you my style is like, even though I'm teaching literature, I give examples more from films than from books. Why? Because I know, like, we are living in a very typical period. Like, we are more exposed to films than to books. Okay, so when I say an example or point out an example from a film, it will be like more like, it will connect with you more than that an example that I cite from a textbook. So first I will give you the example from a film. You all might have watched the film. Then I'll give you the example from a book. Clear with that? So the first example is like a very famous scene from the movie King. Okay, sorry for those people who do not follow Malayalam movies. It's a very famous scene from the movie King of Mammootty. In that, he makes this very long discussion, or you can see there is a kind of a dialogue between Vani Vishwanath, who is a sub-collector, so like a trainee under the collector, who's also an IAS officer, like, the Vani Vishwanath, the character is also an IAS officer, but a trainee. And you have the main hero is Joseph Alex, Mammootty as the collector. Okay, so scene is like, it's like a scene where they're discussing about some Krishnatan, and Vani Vishwanath did not pay attention. Vani Vishwanath, a woman, and that one IAS officer did not pay attention to who? Pay attention to a very feeble kind of a character by name Krishnatan. So, in fact, the collector, the IAS officer, is scolding Vani Vishwanath, like, and calling her as a snob. Okay, snob, who a person who actually lives on all this pompish, or you can say in some other world, like, on all these prejudices, or you can say in the disguise of pretending as somebody else. Okay, that is a snob. So he's calling twice, Vani Vishwanath as a snob, and he says like, you will not understand the sense and sensibility of India, because you are a person, a snobbish person. You're getting it. So this is the context of this particular movie that I'm talking about. My concern is whose ideology that is getting projected up here. He says, like, even though she at one point she says, like, I am equally qualified like you because I am also an IAS officer. I have also trained like you. Okay, and for that he says, like, the main character says, like, you will not understand because you have never understood the pain of the nation. From the cinema, it is almost clear that Mammootty is not a person. Joseph Alex, sorry, not Mammootty. Joseph Alex is not a person who has come from a very low background. No, he the good one of the interesting thing about Malayalam cinema is, like, most of the heroes and yes, most of the heroes, especially if it is acted by Mammootty or Mohanlal, they usually come in the upper class, or you can say upper caste, okay, as an upper caste, or you can say at least a high caste Christian. Yeah, I deliberately mentioned that too, there is casteism among Christianity. So so like that. So Joseph Alex is not a person who was born in such a lovely background, and he has just come up in life. No, but he understands the pain of the people, but not a woman IAS officer. You're getting it. She is like a person, and there is a point where he says, like, what exactly was the discussion between you people? It was something about the beauty contest, and then there are so many other vulgar words that are used by the screen writer or screenplay, the person who wrote the screenplay. I don't want to discuss it up here. So basically, it is the ideology of the society that is getting projected. A person who has cleared the civil services exam. So the idea discussed up here is that a person, a woman who qualified civil services examination, who studied all these things, yet when it comes to their discussion, it is all about beauty pageants and so many other vulgar things that are mentioned in that particular scene. You're getting it. So this is the ideology. No matter what exactly is your achievement, okay, you are not capable enough to discuss something that is intelligent. Okay, one point. Another ideology of the people who are there behind the cinema is that a woman can never be sensitive towards the society. You are getting it, because you don't know the pain, and unfortunately the hero, he knows the pain no matter from what background he has come from. You're getting it. So the idea, there is a kind of an ideology that is getting reflected. It is not just about bashing of women, but there is a projection of the ideology that is there in this particular scene. You're getting it. And it is purely a sexist kind of a scene, yeah. And towards the end, he says, in that particular scene, he says, like, when the character of Vani Vishwanath got irritated by all the statements of Joseph Alex, when she raised her hand against him, he said, like, you're just a woman, and because of that, when penna varum penna, and because of that, I am letting you free. Otherwise, I know how not to raise this hand against any man, in your life, that I know. The thing is, like, this is a reflection of an idea. There is a kind of a gratification that you get, when people listen, when you say something like that, and when you listen to it again and again, you're getting it. So which is a reflection of kind of patriarchal society, you can say. I just took one example. I have nothing against anybody. I just want to state my point. Okay, so here you can say that there is a reflection of an ideology. Clear with that? Of whom? Of the people here. It talks about the society of Kerala. You are getting it. The people, they are not irritated at that particular time when the movie came by the scene. But now we have started questioning the scene. Clear with that. Likewise, another scene in Narasimham. It was like, it was like mass scenes in theater at one point. But right now we have started questioning them. So the point is, in all these things, there is a reflection of the ideology. There is of what? Of the society of Kerala. Like how exactly we see women. We'll be like equally qualified women or more qualified, women we can see around us. Okay, they are excelling in every field, even in civil services. But ultimately, you are what? You are not capable enough to rule the nation or rule the state. Why? Because you are just a woman. Clear with that? So this is the first example that I wanted to discuss. I'll continue my discussion in my second video. So till then, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you.